There has never been a better time than now to come join the Bellisio Foods team. Bellisio has a new contract in place with plenty of awesome perks for their employees. From increased wages, access to the free health clinic, vacation after 6 months, and much more, Bellisio Foods is committed to putting their employees first. For more information or to apply, visit BellisioFoods.com/careers. Take advantage of these great new employee benefits and join the Bellisio team today. Visit BellisioFoods.com/careers to learn more.
Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the morning show right here on Main Street TV. And Jennifer here, of course, to start off your morning with our good friend, the Larrys. Welcome, guys.
No, thank you so much. It's wonderful to be here.
Oh, it's so fun to have you back.
Proud to be here.
Yeah, and so this Larry hasn't been in the new studio
it's the first
yet.
time. It's great.
So welcome. Here we are.
It's awesome.
He's like, there's some really cool stuff in here. Yeah. Well, we are going to talk about something really, really fun coming up this weekend at Canter's Cave. But before we do that, and we're going to have some fun show and tell, as you can see here, all the stuff. But before we do that, Pete Wilson just brought in an announcement of a cancellation. So listen up. The Wellston City Schools have announced the after-school program, RAP, has been canceled for this Tuesday afternoon at both Wellston Intermediate and Bundy Elementary. That is today, January 11th. Both Wellston Intermediate and Bundy Elementary, the RAP program has been canceled. They are due to limited busing. However, the one at the middle school is still on for this afternoon. So intermediate school and Bundy Elementary canceled, middle school still on. What's the difference between the intermediate and the middle school? I don't know. We don't know. I'm just reading what they gave me.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So there you go.
I thought it was the same. But
I kind of thought so too. Anywho, well, welcome. We have the Larrys here, and I guess introduce yourselves if people are new to the show.
Well, I'm Larry Harris, and I help this Larry.
And I'm Larry Zornes, and he helps me.
That's right. The Larrys help each other. We do not have a Daryl. We need to find a Daryl.
Yeah.
And I was looking for him the other day, couldn't find him.
They never bring Daryl with them.
He was making moonshine back then.
Oh, good. So we'll have that this weekend at the trade fair.
Maybe.
Even more reason to go. Moonshine and guns. That sounds like a great idea. And knives.
Great idea.
No. There's a really cool event going on out at Canter's Cave this weekend. So tell us a little bit about what's going on.
You first?
No, go ahead.
Oh, well, it's a pre-1890 indoor trade fair.
Yes.
Open to the public. All the gate receipts go to the 4-H camp, and we donate a percentage of the table fare to the 4-H camp.
Which is very important because the kids need their camp.
They don't come out for anything else, come out to support the 4-H camp and the kids out there.
Correct.
Yeah. And there's, like Larry said, we had 21 maybe plus vendors.
Okay.
Everything from flintlocks, knives, powder horns, clothing, period glassware,
books,
blacksmith items.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if we got a blacksmith in the bunch or not, but
clothing. I think there is. There is one.
So it's a pretty neat event just to come to see, and they also have food available there in the main lodge where the event's going to be held.
Yes.
So they can come out there and spend a whole day if they want. And it's from 8 to 5 on Saturday and 9 to 3 on Sunday.
Okay, so you have 2 days to make it out there.
Yeah, to get out there. And what the weather forecast said, that snow and stuff is going to be going south of us right now. It's tracking south. So hopefully you'll have good weather for it.
Well, I'm just going to tell you, you all have lucked into some crazy weather out there. And when I say lucked in, I'm being facetious because I swear it's like the weekend every year when we get some crazy snow that you have this this event.
I think you're right.
And
It always happens that
and
way.
it's always been, when it snows, we've always had the biggest crowd.
That's right.
I don't know. Yeah.
Really odd.
Well, I'm going to tell you, there's nothing prettier than Canter's Cave any time of the year.
Right.
But certainly the fall is absolutely gorgeous. But when it snows, it's absolutely gorgeous as well. It's just a lovely venue. If nothing else, come out, as you said, just to support the kids and the camp and just see the beauty that is Canter's Cave.
Exactly.
Lodge.
And it's over the years, like I told Larry and Pete and them, that I went to that camp when I was a boy.
Couple years ago.
Yeah, about 60.
Yeah.
But it's changed a lot, all for the better. There's some neat places to see out there, neat trails to go on. People want to do that, and I've been talking to Erin. She's a 4-H agent.
Erin Daly.
Yeah, and she's been very cooperative with us to get this thing going again. And since they still haven't got a new camp director, do they?
Not yet.
Not yet, but they're working on it. And Sarah, I guess, one of the former camp directors, is coming back to help.
Okay.
So that's great. Supporting the event.
Yes.
I believe
And
she's
the
doing
club.
meals this weekend.
Huh?
I think she's doing the meals this
Yeah,
weekend.
they're going to have the meals. Yeah.
believe.
So
Nice. Yeah,
So-
they'll have great food out there too, so you don't have to worry about that.
dealers will be coming in Friday to set up, and then of course the event opens up on Saturday morning. So,
Hey.
it's a good show to see.
Hey, Larry, can I butt in here real quick? You mentioned that 4-H is looking for a camp manager. Here's the information for that position if anybody is interested. The position includes on-site housing. Applications will be accepted until the position is filled. To see the full position description, visit 4hcanterscave.osu.edu/camp manager. Questions can be directed to Joe Williams, board president at williams.2213@osu.edu. And I'll put that information in the comments.
We'll just write all that down
because
for
that's
you.
kind of a
Yeah,
mouthful.
wow.
But
That's
if
a lot.
anybody is interested in that, we'll put that information in the comments.
Very good. Thank you, James, for
Yeah,
that.
that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So you have actually been working on this, Larry. Can we have left Larry and right Larry? Left Larry.
All right, he left.
Left Larry has been actually working kind of hands-on with some of the vendors to schedule them.
Yeah.
So can you tell us some specifics about some of the folks that will be here this weekend?
Well, we've got
Box maker.
yeah. There's one of the vendors. We call him Box Maker because he makes all kind of cabinetry, period type cabinetry stuff.
Oh,
And trunks and boxes.
Trunks and tables, chairs, benches, all those kind of things. Which
how fun.
he does, yeah, and he does. People are all after that because this stuff's really nice. He does good work. The box maker. One of the others is they have all type of clothing, anything you can think of, period clothing up through pre-1890.
Would that be the Stitcher's Cabin?
Stitcher's Cabin
Tim Milligan. Yeah.
is folk you want to see there.
Mm-hmm.
The log cabin shop. Some of you may be familiar with that. Has everything from I don't know.
Everything.
Yeah, everything from
Everything.
books
They got-
to guns to
Yeah.
anything that you can think of.
And we build locks for them, flintlocks for them.
Yeah.
Cool.
Log cabin shop.
Yeah, and then there's some knife makers, some forge folks are there
Okay.
that make knives and forging type things, whatever that might be. There
Yeah,
are
like that.
like that one, and
On that
there's another one
there.
laying up there
Yeah.
somewhere.
Yeah, we'll get to show and
Powder
tell in a
horns,
minute.
There's a vendor there that does powder horns.
Okay.
There is glassware, all the period type glassware, the Wasakis.
John Wysocki, yeah.
Yeah, they have.
Do they actually make it, or
No,
they're
they-
just like a distributor
they're
for
a
that
distributor
period
for all
type?
types of things. Yeah.
Okay.
Glassware and games, period games of that time.
That
those
could be
kind of
fun.
things. Yeah. They have lots of items like that type of thing.
And we have, believe it or not, Amish that show up there at the event, and they're, matter of fact, one of them made this knife for me.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's Norman Yoder. He moved. Said he always wanted to live in the mountains, so he moved down to Virginia. Well, he's coming up to the event. He called me and told me he was coming up to the event.
Cool.
He just got over the COVID himself. He spent a couple of days in the hospital, and he got over it, and he's doing well. But he's coming up to visit. So it's everybody.
So that reminds me of the knife from Norman. Is also leather. So there's folks there that do all type of leather things.
Work, yeah.
Anything you can think of, period leather type stuff, they have that too. And also there's an engraver there that does all type of jewelry engraving, period engraving, to firearms, to watches or rings.
And I do a wee bit of that myself.
All those kind of things. Yeah, an engraver.
That's cool. So all kind of fun stuff. So the neat thing is, even if you're not into, this type of thing, it's still something really neat to see and bring the kids.
Yeah.
Bring the kids. There's toys, because a lot of those same vendors have, toys, period toys for the kids. Yeah, absolutely. Almost all of them have something
For the kids.
For kids.
Do you still, didn't there used to be was there a candy shop out there? Or they had,
There, and that varies too. I don't think we have a vendor there that has candy this time, but we've had.
You have had in the past.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have candies that were made of the period, that kind of thing. Soap, which we all might need once in a while. Soap makers. Yeah. Right. Yeah. We have those there.
That's just how we make sure we don't have the Rona. We just walk around stinking.
Right. That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
No, so there are, vendors for everything. And I think that some of the neat things would be like, for me, the leather working, the blacksmithing, there's all kind of just neat things that they make that you're just like, wow, how did they do that?
I think it's interesting how that works, because we don't really pick those. It just kind of, the mix just happens.
The mix just happens,
It always has this is 22 years?
24 or 25 years.
Whatever, it's a long time.
Mm-hmm.
We've been doing it, yeah.
I was going to ask you that, how long that's been.
Yeah, I think it's 25 years this year.
It'll be really close to that, so.
That's awesome.
96, 97, somewhere there we started it.
Yeah.
Well, very good. Is there anything else going on out there that we need to let people know about? Like, what about admission? Is there a fee to get in, or how do we do that? Of course, remember, most of this is going to the 4-H camp.
100% of the gate receipts go to the 4-H camp. It's $3.
So you're helping your kids.
$3 a person, and $2 per person in period dress.
Okay.
And kids 12 and under are free.
Gotcha.
So, and the hours are, like you said, 8 to 5 on Saturday and 9 to 3 on Sunday.
9 to 3 on Sunday. So you have plenty of time to get out there.
Yeah.
And again, if nothing else, just drive out to Canter's Cave, because it is so pretty out there.
Yeah, it is. It is very different.
It is absolutely gorgeous. So let's talk for a minute about the Sons of Liberty, because that's kind of
there's one of the founders right there.
There you go.
We got to put that.
I started it, and it's been, I don't know how many years ago now. It's been 30 years or better.
Are the Sons of Liberty the one technically putting this on?
Yeah, basically, we're all the Sons of Liberty.
Okay.
Well, and I started the trade fair on behalf of the Sons of Liberty, and they're backing me on all this.
So tell us a little bit about how that got started and what it means.
Well, there was a group of guys that got together that enjoyed shooting flintlocks and muzzleloaders, and having matches and competition, and going to Friendship, Indiana, to the National Muzzleloading Rifle Association matches out there. And doing the rendezvous. We would have sometimes weekend squirrel hunts where we would go out and camp primitive and just go squirrel hunting. And the only thing that counted was headshots. Yeah, it's just, and we've had a lot of people over the years come and go, and we've lost people, of course, but because it's been so long. But I don't know. It's been in excess of 30 years. I know that we had.
Wow.
And the trade fair got started because of the rendezvous we also do.
We're starting to go down. Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Right.
the fall, the spring and the fall that we do the rendezvous, and then we were looking at a time to do something in the winter to get things, because there's nothing happening in the winter.
I know. We're all
And
sitting
so,
around
hey,
like
January, it's Christmas. Excuse me, Christmas is over. New Year's is starting. So we were talking to Larry about that years and years ago, and we thought we ought to try this thing and let's do a trade fair. It's kind of like we got talking about like gun show or something. Nah, it's not really a gun show. So we tried this trade fair idea, and it's really been successful.
Yeah, and it's so interesting, and it's right in our backyard,
And
know?
I was able to push it because I did a lot of rendezvous back at that point in time, all over the eastern United States and southeast, and even out west some. So, and I pushed it pretty good, and apparently it worked. So, and we've had pretty good success over the years with that. So.
Love that. And when you say rendezvous, that's kind of the outdoor encampment.
That's the outdoor,
and everybody
yeah.
just kind of gets together and camps out. And
Yeah.
you have like little competitions and fun
Right.
stuff. Yeah.
Knife and hawk and shooting muzzleloaders, flintlocks, and a little bit of everything.
That's right. Okay. So what a lot of people don't know is Larry actually makes the flintlocks for the muzzle loading guns, correct?
Right.
Well, this is the first time ever you've actually brought a show and tell. So can we talk about that for a minute?
Well, I got thinking about that this morning. I said, well, we've never shown anything.
We haven't. Like, this thing is humongous. How do you hold it?
Very carefully.
It's like big. It's like taller than we are.
No, this particular gun is probably around 1760. It's called a transitional gun from where the German gunsmith brought over the shorter versions, the 31-inch barrels, shorter barrels.
Okay.
And then they started copying things over here, and had gunsmiths over here, a gunsmith that came in from over in Europe, and they just, gradually they lengthened the barrel out, and a lot of it was due to the poor quality of powder that was manufactured here until DuPont came in.
Okay.
It required a longer barrel to burn the powder real well. So some of those.
So it was form and function, like it was.
Exactly.
Gotcha. That is super cool.
And the flintlock slowly. Well, the first percussion guns was about 1840.
Now, what does that mean?
They use a cap lock.
What does that mean?
They use a nipple and a cap going on the nipple and a hammer hit the cap.
Sure, we'll have to bring one next time.
Okay,
So you
yeah.
Nipple hit the cap and shot the fire into the main powder charge.
So it eliminates the flint out of that,
I did,
and the flash pan where the flint goes into, where the powder goes in there.
Yeah, let's talk for a minute about how this thing works.
eliminates
Like
all of
when
that.
we think about guns, we think about you put a bullet in a gun and you pull the trigger and it goes. So this is a completely different animal.
I'm not going to drop the hammer because I don't have a flint in it. But the powder goes in here. Main charge is in the barrel. Powder goes in here. That's closed. It's called a frizzen or battery, the old term.
So the powder goes in there.
Right.
Yeah.
Powder for the ignition. The
Flash powder.
main charge is in the barrel already.
Oh,
Yeah, you've already loaded it from the muzzle. With the ram.
so what did we
Rammed it
load?
down.
We loaded powder in there
Powder,
too.
patch, and
Powder.
ball. Yeah, you dump it down the barrel.
A ball.
In that order.
And
So
then
a ball is like the bullet.
Like the bullet.
the
Okay.
bullet, yeah.
Yeah.
round ball.
Y'all
That's
got to
all.
understand I'm dumb
Well,
No, it's
when
okay.
it comes to that.
So yeah, you got
I mean, a lot of other
You always
things,
have to
too.
have powder first.
Okay.
So
First
the
the
old
powder, then the
adage is
ball.
powder, patch, and ball, or it won't go at all.
Okay.
That's what they say. Okay, so you dump the powder in there, and then you have a patch, or like a patch of cloth, and then the ball is put
Pellet.
into the cloth, and then it's rammed down the barrel with this ramrod right here,
Uh-huh.
all the way down, all the way back to the back of the breech back there, and then you have your flash powder goes in
put your
underneath of that.
fire right in here, close that up, and it's ready to fire. I don't have a flint in here, so I
We
won't
can't
drop it.
cock it, yeah.
But what happens is, it goes down, it strikes sparks off of this. The flint does. It ignites that powder there, which
Okay.
in turn goes into the barrel, and it's gone.
Like an instant match.
Yeah.
Like you strike a
Yeah.
match, you know?
Yeah, and it's gone.
So, but you have to do that every time you want to fire the gun.
Yeah.
That just doesn't seem very practical, but it's super cool.
It was the only way at the time.
Yeah.
Either that or bow and arrow.
Right?
Aha.
So then the cap lock that he's talking about is the same design, except you're minus the frizzen.
Yeah, you got a drum.
You have a nipple,
you
a
got
drum and a nipple that
nipple.
sticks up this way towards the hammer here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then the hammer itself
Is
is
round.
rounded. So it has no
So it
flint
comes
no
down
more.
and so it come down
So
and hit
then,
the flint.
yeah, they had these little caps, these little mercury caps, which we don't handle today.
No.
Little mercury caps. And then when you strike that with force, the mercury would actually make fire or a spark, and it would ignite the same idea. It's just a lot faster.
I was going to say, so you're just kind of eliminating steps.
Absolutely. You know,
Yeah.
That's evolution with guns that took hundreds of years for that
Isn't that
to take
wild?
place. Isn't that crazy? Yeah.
But look how beautiful that
Well,
is.
this is some engraving I did.
It's lovely.
I made the molds. I engraved the masters and made the molds. And we cast this. This engraving is cast in.
Into the
from
wood.
master.
Is that wood?
No.
No,
this
Is the
is
gun
brass.
wood?
That's metal.
It's brass.
The guns, yeah, the
The
stock
gun's
is-
wood, though.
The gun is wood, yeah.
What kind of wood is that? Because it's straight.
Curly maple.
Okay.
Actually, maple with a defective genetic thing.
I know, but it's gorgeous.
Makes
It
pretty.
is. Yeah,
I have a desk made out of that, and it's absolutely gorgeous.
And I've got one gun out there. I didn't bring out. I thought about bringing it. It's curly maple or curly cherry. It's got a big wide curl in it. But that's pretty much it.
My goodness, how tall is that thing?
Oh, it's
5 feet tall.
It's got a 38-inch barrel, I think.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, they make them. They go clear out to 50 some inches.
How would you even
Copper.
handle that?
Very carefully, but some of the old guns were really long. The French stuff, they had real long barrels. They were smooth bores also.
Actually, they're lighter than you think they are, but they're balanced. There's a balance there. They're not as
It would have to be. If
hard
not,
to
it
hold
would.
as you think it is.
Really?
I mean,
Okay.
Yeah, there's a balance to it.
I'll
But
get it back around here.
But what
you're
Larry
fine.
hasn't told you, though, all those parts on that particular gun there,
Yeah.
he can make all of those parts
So-
at his
They
shop.
make
He
that.
makes them
You
all.
make, and that was what I was going to get to that because you actually make the parts, and then you make guns as well, though, like the
Yeah,
whole
I don't
gun.
have much
But
time. I've got a gentleman. He's an old Vietnam vet that down in Round Mountain, Tennessee, that builds something for me.
but you make the
make
parts,
all
and
the
then
parts.
so if people want to make their own guns
Mhm.
or
Yeah, we
whatever,
have-
they
we
can go
have-
to
yeah,
you
we
for
have
parts.
Kits. Yeah, we have kits for that. Kits and finished guns both.
That is so crazy.
So.
And so, do you make parts from what eras to what era to what era?
About 1680 up to about 1840.
Okay, so 200 years worth of parts.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's crazy.
And these are copies. These are copies of original stuff.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. Everything we do is copies of originals.
Are there actually original guns out there
Mm-hmm.
still?
Yes.
Okay,
I don't know if anybody will have any out there, but there are.
that's pretty neat.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that collect the old guns. I've got one or two myself, but I don't know if there's anybody comes out there that's,
Well, I think one of the cool things about Larry's shop is he's had guns, original guns there.
Mm-hmm.
And they take that original and he copies that. He makes those, he has to make the mold, the pieces,
Sure.
the mold to make that copy. And then they can make those pieces from the original. And he's had a lot of those guns out there at the shop. And
That
they
is
do
so
all of the engineering work it takes from that and end up with a finished product. I think that's pretty cool. It's
It is.
very rare. There's not very many people in the world left that does that.
That are
kind of
doing
thing.
what you're able to do.
the last one we done was the Indian gun.
Mhm.
It was made in 1742 by Albrecht. He was a German builder
Mm-hmm.
in a Moravian village in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. He made it for Poxenosa. Poxenosa was a hereditary chief of the Pequotep of the Shawnee tribe.
Okay.
The old man carried that gun for 9 years, and he had died at the age of 91. I have a picture of his portrait that they made holding
Wow.
that gun.
Wow.
Yeah, and we duplicated the gun. So,
That is cool.
So I'll have one or two of them out there at Canter's Cave, finished ones, so people can see.
And wasn't that one of the ones where the original, like the butt of the stock's worn, where he drug it around on the ground? Is that one of his? Punxsutawney, was that? Or is that somebody else I'm thinking of?
Somebody else, I think.
That they actually, but they used the gun as a crutch, and it's
Oh, like as almost
It's
like a
worn,
walking stick.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, that wasn't me.
but
That's cool.
Yeah.
All right. So let's talk about some of the other show and tell stuff that you brought.
Well, this is a map horn.
A what?
map, M-A-P.
MAP, a map. It has a map.
Oh,
Mhm.
yeah. It does have a map on it.
Yeah, and it's all hand in scrimshaw, they call.
Mhm.
That one was made by a gentleman in northern Ohio. And
Okay. So there is a beer called Scrimshaw Pilsner, and the logo for it is similar to that.
Yeah.
It just now dawned on me.
Scrimshaw's
So
been around a long time.
What does Scrimshaw mean?
Well,
That's
I don't know
this
what they
engraving?
term that's
Yes, it's engraved right into the
It's-
material, into the
it's
horn, or other
scratched
things.
in or whatever.
Yeah.
however
I
you
see
want to-
now.
Yes, it's real artistry
Oh,
ability to do that kind of work.
James has a. So you can see it's like. It's kind of hard to see, but that's
Yeah.
actually a map, like right there. So cool. And it's so intricate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The end of that you're holding, that little round knob, that screws out to put powder on the
This?
other end.
This one.
Yeah, that
So this
unscrews.
is to hold your gunpowder.
Yeah,
That's what this is?
yep.
The
that's
bulk
what it is.
powder.
Okay, so you said it's a horn. Is it actually a
It's
horn?
actually a horn.
Of what? Of who?
Of a cow.
That's a cow.
A cow horn. Okay.
Yeah.
They made them out of lots
Can
of
I
animals.
unscrew it?
That
Just-
unscrew, you can unscrew it.
I mean, this is a workable.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
that's how you filled the horn.
So, okay, I'll show. So you just use this to hold your gunpowder.
To fill it up. And the other end is your pour spout.
Oh, okay. Well, let's show that too. That's pretty cool. Well, now I'm going to screw this up. Wait, I got to
Yeah,
switch
just leave it out.
hands.
It's okay. We'll put it back in.
Oh no, I'm going to
She's
get it.
going to do it, or else.
So it's kind of funny. They would
That's
have a
stubborn Jen
funnel.
coming out.
They would make a funnel out of a piece of horn, and you put that in the hole, and then dump your powder so that
Yeah.
it funnels it into the hole, so you didn't
So
spill.
then
'Cause
how
it'd
do
be
I-
Very
Just
valuable.
like that.
Just
Press
down.
down. Press
Oh,
down.
press down.
Just like that.
Oh, and your gunpowder just comes. Oh wait.
Come
Cute.
pouring out.
Cool.
Into
You're
your powder
kidding.
measure. Yeah, into a powder measure.
So there you go.
Yep.
That is so neat. I didn't know what that was. Now there's a little hook on it. So did you like have that on you?
That
Yeah,
hooks.
like
Yeah.
a strap. So you just strap it around you.
Yeah. So you would have
It
your
hangs right
gunpowder
there
with
with
you.
your hunting pouch. Above
Okay.
your hunting pouch.
So let's talk about your hunting pouch for a minute because you just showed that.
It's just a. This is actually a possibles bag. A hunting pouch would be probably a little smaller than this.
Yeah.
This is made to carry all your stuff. So when you're in that
it's a
time,
man
your
purse.
life is in this bag.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
anything that you have, it's carried. You're carrying it with you. So this bag would just have a whole bunch of things in it.
Fire starting.
Whatever it is that you needed. Yeah. Modern days, we got a wallet and phone and that kind of stuff.
Right.
But it's just cloth.
That's awesome.
There's leather ones. There's all type, but this is the possibles bag. You just put everything you could in there.
Gotcha.
Now, do you want?
Yeah.
Okay, he hand forges everything on that.
So there's metal in the wood.
Yep, and it's all hand forged. And his
That
name
is
is Norman Yoder.
gorgeous.
He's a fine knife maker.
And this is the Amish guy that you
Amish,
said
yeah.
that was, and he's coming this weekend.
He's coming
Look
out
at the. I don't know if you can see the metal
Yeah.
on it.
He took classes from Herschel House, Herschel House is a well-known knife maker, gun maker down in Kentucky. And
That
Norman
is
actually did
so
his
cool.
work at Canter's Cave.
yeah, he did.
He learned
That's
to
where they
make
had
that
the
stuff
classes.
at Canter's
Oh, really?
Cave.
Yeah.
Yeah, during the knife making classes and the gun making classes, which we still do today.
Yeah, you do.
We do 3 weeks worth of them now, of just gun classes, because it's very popular. Sheath and the knife.
It's a Damascus blade.
Now this is gorgeous.
That is a friend of mine down in Tennessee. He's a black blacksmith.
A blacksmith.
Yeah, he's a fine knife maker.
Let's see if you can.
He does a good.
I'm trying to
job.
catch the light so
Catch
you
the
can
grain in the
look
metal.
at. Oh, there you go.
There you go. Yeah.
Look at the grain in that. Like it's. Now, does he carve that in?
No, that's layers of steel forged welded together.
Yeah, those are
at
layers.
that.
Those are all layers of steel. You could have
Different layers, different types of steel.
a couple hundred layers. You could have 50 layers. You could have 300 layers. That's
You're
all-
kidding.
No,
It's
no,
all
that's-
forged welded together.
Yeah.
Wow. And then the handle is a bone of
It's
some
antler.
sort.
That's probably a whitetail antler.
Antler? Yeah.
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 So what would this and it has a beautiful holder as well. So things like this would be for sale, right? Out this
Yeah,
weekend?
absolutely.
I've got a couple of them for John. Turn it around, Jennifer.
This way?
Yep. I've got a couple of them, and I had John send me
That's so
out
cool.
there.
So what would that be something that you would carry with you all the time if
All the
in the era?
Yeah.
Just for this, that, or the other reason?
Very definitely. Very definitely. He didn't go unarmed. Back at that point in time, anyhow.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
So now, people do carry, guns on them, but that at that time, you're obviously not going to, walk around 24/7 with that sucker
No.
strapped to you. So I guess knives would be the next best thing.
well, they always had, if you go back, the pioneers, they always had one of those within reach
Okay.
because it was a necessity. Yeah.
So was it to defend themselves against people, animals? What was the protection?
All.
All of the above?
All of the above.
Okay.
And back at that point in time, they're still around, but bears, for one thing, and some of my ancestors, the Indians, were around, and it was kind of,
And for food, I mean,
it was
Yeah, you had to hunt to eat. You didn't go to Walmart.
there was
no, they didn't have no Walmarts.
So let me ask you this. I was flipping through the other day and so Little House on the Prairie was on. What era was that as compared to what you all are
that's-
talking about?
Yeah, you're looking in the 1870s,
Early 1800s, or
yeah,
mid
70s,
1800s.
80s,
Yeah,
through that.
Okay, so you're talking about the end of
The end of the era,
This era.
yeah, going across
that era.
to the west, from east to west, it's in that.
Okay.
Later.
So you guys-
it's a later era, but
some
we
of the
go to
stuff you're doing is-
1890. 'Cause we call it cowboy. That's cowboy era, if you will. But yeah, that's when that is. That's
Okay.
in that era.
So the end of that era.
It's
kind of.
before the turn of the century.
Yeah. Super cool. I know it's a cheesy show. I was just in my mind, I needed to know so I could
Yeah.
compare it as to what you all are talking about.
When you think
Well,
in history of progression, you know how there's not a whole lot happening until we get clean into the industrial, 1800 or 1900.
Into the 1900s.
Yeah.
And then
It
things
was
went
all
like
it
that.
was all expansion into the frontier.
Absolutely.
And it was fighting amongst the whites and the Indians and all that, and the whites pushing the Indians out of their ancestral homeland, and it just it was
Which is a whole other mess, but
it is There was a whole lot of things done. Excuse me, that shouldn't have been done.
yeah,
But,
absolutely.
but
I don't think anybody can argue that.
yeah. But
So what, like Jen mentioned Little House on the Prairie, what are some movies and TV shows that you would say are accurate representations of
Ooh,
the era that you
good
guys
question.
are working on?
I like Patriot.
Patriot was a good
Very well done, and
Is
Very
that
well
Mel
done.
Gibson?
that's Mel Gibson.
Mel Gibson, Last of the Mohicans.
And Last of the Mohicans is
Yeah, Paul Hall, Red Brush Stocks
pretty
did
good.
a lot of the stocks for that movie. Out the road here.
Really?
Yeah,
so you look
Interesting.
at those type of movies. There was a lot of research done
yeah.
to make it as authentic as they possibly can in modern day
Could
time.
be, yeah.
They actually cared.
Yeah,
Instead
they really
of-
spent, and the actor spent a lot of time learning about the
Mel
part.
Gibson. And
Yeah,
did a lot.
that kind, those kind, and I think it was pretty well.
They spent a lot of time getting into the character, I guess.
Yeah,
He was,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No.
So there's you a couple of movies to watch if you want to.
Those are really they're well done movies.
Some of the
Representative.
History Channel movies. I can't. The names of them escape me right now. But the later one is about the Civil War, and some of that's pretty well
Okay.
done. Some of the documentaries out there.
Yeah, that was a good question, James.
How about the
thanks.
CUMSA? The outdoor drama that they
Yeah,
do in
it was a
Chillicothe.
good
I mean,
one.
there's a lot
Great.
of representation of like these kind of
Yeah.
firearms and things in that.
Yep.
Been there a few times, and the neat thing about the Shawnee, they lived right up the road.
I've
Yeah.
never seen Tecumseh. Shame on me.
It's worth seeing.
And about the Shawnee, my
Yeah, it's really good.
great grandmother was Mary Lotus Morningstar. She was a Shawnee Indian woman.
Really?
Yeah.
So we have Shawnee here in our area.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
That's so cool.
they lived right up the road.
Yeah.
Chillicothe.
Chillicothe was called Chilagata.
Mhm.
It was a Shawnee village, town.
Really?
And there's historical Indian mounds up there in Chillicothe near the prison.
Yeah, I have been to Mound City, but it was when I was in grade school, so
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't remember. Adina and Mound City we went to,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
which is a whole other, thing. We've been on a roll, I think, here on the channel of just talking about the natural beauty and the cool things that we have right here in our area. The people travel from all over the world to come to Hocking Hills or to come to our area and witness that we don't even appreciate
we
here.
say that all the time.
It's
you,
like,
you
what the heck?
probably don't visit the areas that you live in.
Yeah, like how many
that are-
people live in New York haven't seen the Statue of Liberty? Like,
Yeah.
That's right. I mean, it's a
you just don't.
But we'll go all the way to Alaska, to see whatever there, or another state somewhere to see something, and you haven't even seen the stuff right here.
Yeah.
That's right.
Within
Just up the
100
road,
miles of your house.
Leo Petroglyph.
That's I was
Yeah,
going to
the
mention Leo
Leo Petroglyph,
Petroglyph.
right
I mean,
here.
if you haven't been out there, it's so cool.
Yeah.
And there's a nice hiking trail around there too.
Yeah.
So there's lots and lots of things that are right here that you don't have to even
A lot of
leave
history
the
right
county or the tri-county area.
Right.
I mean, to witness. So,
Yeah.
well, that's interesting. So the Scrimshaw is. I'm back to the beer thing because that's so cool. You never knew why that was called that, but that's the actual writing
It
into
could have been
that.
places you've been or places you're going to.
Really?
It's a map.
It's a map.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a map.
So, how was that done? With a knife or?
We had
Is there a little
probably a sharpened
device?
awl, probably an awl.
Yeah. So cool.
That's not saying that some of these frontiersmen didn't use a knife or a sharp tool
Right.
to
Yeah, but
scribe stuff while they were
Moving
going
on.
somewhere.
mhm.
Yeah.
That is
Absolutely.
really cool. Okay. So, wow, we've really talked about a lot
Oh, we
today.
have.
Is there anything else show
This
and
is
tell
awesome.
you brought?
No, but
No, this was really fun.
I got everything.
Well, you guys haven't really talked about your clothing.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Well.
So, what would be, I guess, the normal everyday garb?
Well-
Is this kind of a more dressy garb, or is this?
Well, what I've got on, I'd say, would be it's French, early French, and
Oh,
I really
yeah,
needed a
French.
shirt really bad of some kind because I was out and I got attacked by a bear, and
Okay.
it shredded up my old shirt, and there was this
Dang it.
French guy laying over there in a ditch, and so I needed a shirt, and he didn't need it, so voila,
Because the bear got him already.
bear got him already, and it was still clean. This one was.
This was just
That's
a
good.
normal everyday shirt that I made, with a sleeve like that, and this a waistcoat. And of course, my pants are brain tan buckskin, and
I didn't even
friends.
see. Oh, yeah.
They're
Well, he's
brain
a
tan.
rich guy; you could afford that.
Oh, so you got the leather. He got the leather pants going on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, well,
He's
these
fancy.
These are brain tan, and a friend of mine had made the pants for me. I bought the brain tan hide and had that done. Sue DeLille lives up around Wilkesville. She does a lot of Indian. Well, she is part Shawnee, so she does a lot of that quill work. And she did this knife sheath. That's moose hair embroidery and brain tan leather, and she beaded that.
Wow.
And then that's a little Damascus patch knife.
Yeah.
You might want to explain what that is.
Yeah.
What is
explain.
a
It's
patch knife?
cable Damascus. It's used.
Yeah,
to cut
But what's a
patches.
patch knife?
Yeah. What's a
Well,
patch knife?
Well, you put your material down on the muzzle of your gun after you put the powder in, put the ball there, and just start it down, and you cut the excess material off, and then ram the ball down.
So you need this
but
on
that-
hand all the time
Yeah.
Absolutely.
to fire your gun.
Yep.
Makes
Well,
sense.
unless you had pre-cut patches, some people did, but
I mean, you got leather pants. You better have pre-cut patches, Mr. Richie over there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mr.
And
Richie Rich.
And they use buckskin too. They use that as a patch around the ball too.
Mm-hmm.
And if they got in a hurry, loading on the run, where sometimes they'd carry some balls in their mouth, and they put the powder and they just spit the ball down the bore and thump. So they shoot the ball and then fire. They were protecting themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you were in a pinch.
Yeah.
So how quickly, back to your muzzle loading gun here, how quickly can one get it ready to fire? If you're good and you do it all the time and you're a settler and
they
you
probably do it
10, 15
30
seconds.
Yeah, somewhere.
Because they would get 3. I mean, they could reload 3 times a minute.
Okay.
So
That's still not very
if you're
efficient.
really good.
Well,
Yeah, you're
But
right.
it's better than the alternative.
But at that point in time, that's all that was available.
Yes.
So it was one against the other.
Sure.
It balanced.
And just think, when revolvers came around a little bit later, mid 1800s, now you had 6 or 5 or some
Yeah.
had 10.
Yeah.
Short distance, of course, close distance, but yeah, that was like having the ultimate magazine back in those
Oh,
days.
yeah, for sure. All right, so back to the clothes. So what would be a normal everyday outfit? Would it be what you guys have on right
I
now?
have on as
Yeah.
a trader or a merchant, or even it may be a little bit different if I was working at the bench.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a waistcoat and maybe a leather apron or whatever
Mm-hmm.
have you. But this would be normal for what I do, for what I would be doing.
And Left Larry here stole his
Yeah,
outfit.
he just
I sold
the
my
dead
outfit
guy.
'cause
Yeah.
I did, and I needed something.
yeah.
He was naked up until then.
Well, for a little while, yeah.
Okay, so we got a question. The knives, could you use them as kitchen knives?
Yes.
Oh, good
Could
question.
what?
Could
They
you
want to know if
use
they can be
the
used
knives
as
as kitchen
knives.
knives?
Absolutely, they can be used
Why
as
not?
kitchen knives.
Yeah.
One thing you have to
A knife
remember,
is a
though, and
knife is a
I'll
knife.
throw this out at you, is so you don't forget this. I made a cable Damascus knife for one of my brothers, and for his daughter, and so they were using it, and they put it away, and he calls me on the phone a year later and says, "That knife you made me is kind of defective, isn't it?" And I said, "Why? What's the matter with it?" He says, "It's all rusty." I'm like, "Oh, it's not stainless steel, folks. It's iron, and
It's
iron is
real
going
metal.
to rust, and you have to take care of it." So yes, you
Yeah,
can use it in the kitchen, but you need to oil it.
Or keep it clean.
Don't throw
Keep
it in
it
the
clean.
dishwasher. Let's just
Don't throw in the dishwasher, and you oil it with cooking oil, not motor oil or some
Right.
petroleum product like
just
that.
keep her
Yeah.
lubed up.
Cooking
and
oil, and you dry it, warm it up, and then oil it before you put it away because it will rust.
Same
If
as
you're
you
gonna-
would
if
with
you're
your
gonna- If you're not
iron
going to
pan.
be using it for quite a
You're not going to
while.
be using it, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're going to be using it daily, you won't have to worry about it.
Just wipe her down with some dish soap, but make sure she's nice and dry
Just
and
clean it,
protected.
dry it, and put
Yeah.
And something interesting that you made me think of, that knife that he had, that Damascus knife,
Uh-huh.
it has layers of steel. It's funny when you take and cut different things like fruits and vegetables, the blade color changes, the metal color changes with.
because of the acid.
With the reaction to
Yes,
the
from the
chemicals, or
different
for the
yeah.
different.
It's a really cool thing. So if you ever get the
Everybody
opportunity,
should go out there and get
get a
one of those.
Damascus knife, and it would drive you crazy. Cut lemons or oranges, or it has a different color
But
every one you cut.
keep in mind that Damascus blades aren't real cheap either.
No, they're not cheap. They're expensive.
Well, there's a reason because they're
Yeah.
layer after
A lot
layer.
of labor
A lot of
involved
work.
in it.
Yeah.
Damascus knife. Yeah.
And then you can, I assume, sharpen them and
Mhm.
keep them good to go. Okay. Very
That
cool.
was a great question.
My
Yeah.
son, I sent him one of these out in Wyoming, and when he first got it, I think it was 12 animals, moose and antelope that he scanned and gutted with that new knife, and he said it worked just beautiful.
Really?
Yeah.
So you obviously using it for hunting too.
Oh, yeah.
That's kind of the
Very-
point.
Very definitely, yeah. Very definitely.
But yeah, use it in the kitchen, sure.
Yeah.
Why not? Like you said, why
And
not?
if it's good quality, if it's been done good quality, it will stay sharp way, way longer than any of that stuff
Yeah.
that they make today.
Gotcha. That's
Stamped
supposed
out
to be
stainless
really
steel.
fancy.
Yeah. Way, way,
As long
way.
as you're not running it against rocks and things like that.
Sure.
Yep.
Very cool. Good question. Do we have any other questions, James?
Well, I have one. What
Yeah.
do you guys use to sharpen the knives? Do you use like a flint, or do you use like a modern knife sharpener?
well,
I use
Whetstone.
diamond.
Whetstone.
I use a diamond.
Yeah, that's the newer.
That's a newer thing.
newer version.
I've got the old stones also, and they work real well. But if I'm in a hurry, I'll just use a diamond. And so but
Sharpens
that works.
quickly.
Yeah.
It's just much quicker.
How big a diamond you got out there?
Is
Is it really a diamond?
That's a diamond.
Yeah, they're real diamond. Yeah,
They're
it's
diamond. They're in little square.
they're crunched up. They're what are they, industrial diamonds.
Gotcha.
They're made. They're industrial diamonds.
Yeah.
Not something you're
Made
gonna wear
for
on
that
your
kind
ring.
of- No, they're not.
You got different.
You need a
different
microscope to
grades.
see
Yeah.
them. They're industrial diamonds.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you got a coarse, a medium, and a fine. Progressively getting them.
People will be out to Larry's house looking for the diamonds here pretty
diamonds.
soon.
No,
I wanted to
no.
clarify that.
Where's
Yeah.
those stones that you sharpen?
Where are those diamonds? Yeah. That's funny. Oh my goodness. This has been so interesting to talk about all of this stuff.
Cool. Very
I'm
cool.
going to throw one more question at you guys.
Yeah.
You mentioned that you went to Canter's Cave when you were younger. What are some of your memories from when you were?
What do I remember out there?
I didn't have my microphone turned on. What are some of your memory? You mentioned that you went to Canter's Cave when you were children. What are some of your childhood memories of going to Canter's Cave?
Oh, that's a good one too.
What some of my memories that
Sure.
well, what is now the main lodge out there was a plywood structure. They had like a mess hall there, and kids they gathered in there to do different things. And along the creek there was like long sheds, and the kids they had us out, separated us by tribes, Cherokee and blah blah blah, and they did arts and crafts in those sheds there, and seemed like the boys were back up behind where the lodge is at, and the girls were down toward where Harrison Powell's at now, I think. They kept us.
The big lodge.
They didn't let you hang out with girls?
Huh?
You didn't get to hang out with girls?
Yeah, I had a girlfriend out there, as a matter of fact, but that was years ago. But and hiking trails, they take us on hikes back up through there where Canter's Cave and all that stuff. But I can remember some of that.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just a neat place to be, I can't remember what year it was I was out there, but
just a couple of years ago.
It was a couple of years ago. Yeah. I'm trying to think. I've been down 9. It's been maybe about 70 years ago. Come to think of it.
Well, I guess for me, that's where I met Larry. I lived there for
You did,
20, almost 23 years.
He was,
and my wife had passed away last year, and last May 25th, actually, was the camp manager there, the executive director there for 22 years.
Oh yeah.
She definitely
And,
kept that
so
place going.
So we lived there. We lived there on site, and got a lot of memories of the place. Worked there. I worked on the camp as a volunteer for all of those years. And I still do. I still volunteer there. Still work there. Cut the grass and do all kind of crazy things.
And then you are doing some of the knife making classes and things like that too.
Knife making classes, at least 2 a year, and now they're doing three gun classes there, and we're doing
building these.
Yes, we're doing tomahawk making class there.
They're keeping
Bag making.
They're keeping history alive.
Yeah, keeping history alive.
That's so
for
cool.
Sure.
Keeping history alive.
And that's through Ian Pratt, the Southern Ohio Artisans Group, out of
Ken Gahagan. Ken coming up.
Ken,
Ken Gahagan from Virginia.
Instructors for rifle making.
Yeah, Ian Pratt lived down toward Peebles.
Joe McGee is the coordinator for that, and they're out of Peebles. They're over in Peebles, Ohio, is where they're at.
So if people would be interested in some of those classes coming up, how would they?
Yeah, well, so the
find out
easiest way to do it,
information?
I can't give you that website off my top of my head, but if you just Google Southern Ohio Artisans,
Okay.
it'll come up on Google right away. You'll find it, and then that's the best way to find the contact information. They have registration forms and stuff already on there.
That's
They've got
awesome.
a class going on out there. Well, after our trade fair, I think we have the whole rest of the month is gun building in the main lodge.
In the main
Neat.
lodge,
Yeah. But they had to move the class. It got so big, they had to get into a big area. So
It's grown
have
every
the
year.
whole
It's
main
gotten bigger
lodge
and
now.
bigger.
yeah, it's huge. So Ian Pratt and Ken Hagan and Joe McGee are the guys that.
And
operate that.
and they have a scholarship they give every year
Yes.
to somebody, some young lad that they write in and the reasons they want to take these classes and all that.
Have to write an essay.
That's so
An
neat.
essay, and then I donated all the stuff for this year for the student. Yeah, I donated all of the lock and all that stuff. Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah. So it's
So
neat.
lots of these are so
Well, I'm
back
glad
to
you-
why you're
I'm
here.
glad you brought that up. Yeah. 'Cause
Yeah,
it's pretty
but
important.
why? You guys are here to talk about this indoor trade show that's going on this weekend or trade fair, and again, the gate proceeds are going to go to Canter's Cave Camp. There's some pictures from some of the classes.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. He done brought it up real quick, didn't he?
Thanks, James.
Thank you.
I told
so
you
much.
he's good.
Yes. Yes.
But these are the things why it's so important to keep Canter's Cave alive and keep it, going.
Yeah, very definitely. And
Yeah, that's great.
These
That's
guys
great
are
stuff.
doing it.
And then during the gun class, so the students that come in that are new that haven't been because they have a senior class, and that just means that they've
They've
made
been
more
there
than one
before.
gun
Yeah.
before. They've been there before, kind of thing. So, but the beginner class, they always get a real treat. They go to Larry's place out that we shop. They set a night aside
Oh,
and go out
cool.
there
Out and see
and just
what we're
learn
doing.
how all this stuff's made,
That is neat.
which is really cool. Most of them's never even seen anything. They're like, wow, I can't believe you do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of blows your mind when they
And
say
making
what
a
else is
living.
going on.
And making a living doing that.
And all this stuff starts out in a mold of wax.
It starts out as wax.
It starts out as wax.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It becomes
Investment
metal
casting,
parts.
they call it now. It used to be called the lost wax, but the wax is shot into the molds, and then they go to the foundry, and the foundry cast them for us. And
Well, no wonder he can afford these fancy pants. Just kidding.
good stuff.
Larry's just waiting for his chance to steal them off of him.
I know. He's waiting for that bear to attack.
Don't fall over. I'll strip you right now.
yeah,
Yeah, you got to watch out for Left Larry. He'll get you.
yeah.
You'll be naked before you know it.
Mm.
All right, so let's go over the trade fair one more time because it's very important that everybody come out and visit this weekend.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah, it is. It's a neat show. And you know,
Oh,
like I
there's
said,
another picture.
yeah, that was in May because because of the COVID we changed. We
You
didn't
guys
cancel.
postponed it a little
we
bit.
went to May, and it worked out. The lady on the left is Liza Kindig. She's the third generation running the log cabin shop in Lodi High. They have an indoor shooting range. They've got museum, like 1,500 square foot of stuff or something.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And the gentleman on the right of me is Jason Gatliff. He's the editor, publisher of the Muzzleloader magazine.
Okay.
It comes out 6 times a year. Nice, big, thick magazine. He's done a wonderful job with it.
Cool.
He bought it from Bill Skurlock down in Texas, and he's upped the ante on the quality of the magazine.
He's done great.
He's done a good job with it.
Great job. Yeah.
Yeah, and Eliza usually has books and everything out there, and she's one of the vendors, and so it's a neat show.
Well, we look forward to it, and please come out this weekend to Canter's Cave.
Yes,
and
Jennifer, please come out this weekend.
I'll see what I can do about that. Don't want to disappoint the Larrys, trust me. I'll have to hear from both of them. 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Saturday and 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Sunday.
Mhm.
So you have 2 whole days to get out there.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Bring
And-
the kids.
And food's on site, so
Food.
and it's reasonably priced, and so it and we got the fire. They got the fireplace out there, and we usually got round tables sitting there, and everybody can sit there and eat and enjoy the fireplace.
That's right. That's exactly right. And it is. I've been out numerous times. It's always just a lot of fun, and it's neat to see. I mean, these people are artists. They're
Yeah,
crafting this
absolutely.
stuff. It's so cool.
Yeah.
So there you go.
deal.
Any other questions, James? Nope. Okay, we're good to go on that.
Thank you so much. Thanks
Well,
for
thank you
having
very
us.
much.
This is really awesome.
Oh well, you guys are welcome anytime. We love having you here.
Thank you. Well, we appreciate it.
Yeah. You want to stick around and do the weather with me?
I don't
There it
care.
is. Yeah.
Go ahead.
It's actually not so bad.
Yeah.
You know, today they're calling for partly cloudy skies, highs of 30, lows of 22. Tomorrow, even warmer, highs of 45, lows of 29. And I think maybe Thursday, Friday, maybe a little chance of some precipitation, but really not much.
Yeah,
So look at
mid-30s.
your Saturday, Sunday forecast. We
They
can
said
deal
it
with
was-
that.
They said
It's
it was
above
tracking
freezing.
south. I thought it was
Yeah,
tracking south.
mid-30s.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we
can
got
live-
this.
We can
under
live
control.
with it.
That's right.
Looks real good.
You got it. All right. Well, got to get out of here for the day. Thank you, Larry's, for coming in and spending
Thank you,
time with
Jennifer and
us.
James, for
Well,
having
welcome.
us.
Thank you for having us.
It's our pleasure. You come back anytime, and thanks for the show and tell stuff as well. Get out to the Indoor Trade Festival. I mean, we can call it a festival.
It's a festival.
Trade
Fair.
fair.
This weekend at Canter's Cave. If you have any questions, get hold of Left Larry, and that is 988-8414, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So you can call him as well. Now you're in trouble because I just gave out your number.
That's fine.
All right. Have a great day,
Phone's in the
everyone.
truck.
Oh, there you go.
So you won't-
So you can call him all you want. He won't be bothered
Won't
right
it?
now. So, have a great day. Thank you so much for watching. And we'll be back here tomorrow with our friends from Oak Hill High School bass fishing team. Did you know that thing existed?
Oh, yeah,
Pretty cool.
I knew. Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds really good.
So they're having a little fundraiser too. So we're going to tell everybody about. So we'll talk about that tomorrow.
That's
have a great
great.
day. Thanks for watching. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.